Okay, so welcome to the 73rd class. We are studying the Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. That is the yoga of the distinction between divine and demonic qualities. Daivam is divine. It comes from the word Divi. Divi means bright, shining, light. And Asuram means the one who has not had the nectar of knowledge. So this person is not bright. So Asura is demonic. As usual, we would like to acknowledge Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati for the traditional rendering of Vedanta as it was done for over 1,000 years, starting with Adi Shankaracharya. Say a small prayer. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Partyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Salutations to the lineage starting with Lord Sadashiva, with Adi Shankaracharya in the middle, and continuing up to our immediate teacher, Swami Paramarthananda Saraswati. That we will pick where we left off last time. So I think we are here. 13, 14, 15 is what we need to do. So the chapter it's a relatively simple chapter. There's no huge things to understand here. So here, topics covered are Daivi Sampat, Daivi Vistarasha Proktaha, Asurim Partame Shrunu. Bhagavan in 3 shlokas, he said, is elaborately talked about Daivi Sampat, divine qualities. And now listen to the Asuri Sampat, and he talks in 18 shlokas, 3 and 18. So, and the last 3 are for importance of Shastram or scriptural study. So with that, we will continue reading the demonic qualities. So Bhagavan is now describing how does this person with the demonic quality, asuric qualities behave. So Bhagavan, these 3 have to be done together. Idamatyamaya labdam imam prapsye manoratam idamasti dimapi me bhavishyati punarthanam asau maya hata kshatruhu anishche chaparanapi ishvaro hamaham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi adyo bijanavan asmi konyosti sadrisho maya yakshe dasyami modishya Yityajnana vimohitaha. So let's look at the first one, 13. Idam adyamaya labdam. Idam adya. Adya means now, today. Idam, this. Maya labdam has been gained by me. This has been gained by this person says, oh, I've gained this. I've done this great thing. So then, imam prapsye manoratham. This manoratham means the one, a desire. Rati means enjoyment. So the mental desire. This desire, prapsye, fulfillment. This desire I shall fulfill. Idam asti dimapi me. Idam asti. This is mine. And bhavishyati punartanam. So this is idam asti. This is mine. Also, punartanam bhavishyati. So this person also, he or she says, again, this wealth shall also be mine in the future. So all this is my wealth, and the other wealth also shall be mine in the future. Bhavishyati will become mine. Bhavishyati punar dhanam. Dhanam is wealth. This wealth will be mine in the future. So in these 3 verses, Bhagavan talks about the thought pattern of a materialistic person. This is how the materialistic person thinks. In fact, Bhagavan measures the worth of a person not in terms of taking, but in terms of giving. And so this is directly in opposite. Our value increases not in proportion to earning, but in proportion to caring. But this is materialistic person does not know this. Okay. Asau maya hata shatruhu hanishye cha paranapi. This enemy has my shatruhu enemy. Hataha means slain by me. This enemy has been that enemy. So maya shatruhu. That enemy has been slain by me. Anishye cha paranapi. Paran, others. I shall slay the other enemies also. Anishye cha paranapi. And also, api, also, I shall slay the others. Ishvaroham aham bhogi. I am the Lord. Ishvara means Lord. I am the Lord. I am the enjoyer. I am the one who enjoys everything. Aham bhogi. Bhogi means enjoyer. Siddhoham balapan sukhi. I am siddha. I am perfect. I am successful. Perfect. I am balavan. I am powerful. And sukhi. I am happy. Okay. And once there is inordinate greed, naturally I will see all other people as competitors, Swamiji says. So greed means I see enemies everywhere as obstructing my goals. Adyo bijanavan asmi. I am rich and of noble birth. Okay. Konyosti sadrisho maya. Who else is equal? Sadrisho. Who else is equal to me? Ko anya asti. Who else? Anya else. Asti is. Sadrisho maya. Equal to me. Yakshe dasyami modishya. I shall perform yakshe dasyam. I shall perform yajnas. Das yami, I shall give to charity. Modishya ityajnana vimohita. Thus, these people are deluded by ignorance. Iti ajnana vimohita. Thus, these people are ajnana, by ignorance, vimohita, are deluded by ignorance. This is the thought pattern, and this thought pattern is wrong. So in these 3 verses is illustrated. This is how the person is thinking, and what is this? This is an ignorant, deluded thought pattern. So these people are deluded by ignorance. Okay, clear? So now, Bhagavan says, what's going to happen to these people? Aneka chitta vibrantaha moha jala samavritaha prasakta kama bhogeshu patanti narakeshu chau. Aneka chitta vibrantaha. Aneka means many. Chitta vibrantaha, chitta means the mind. Vibrantaha means bewildering. So bewildering thoughts in the mind or fancies. They've got crazy things they want. They want to go to the moon. They want to conquer other planets. All these kind of things also are there. Bewildered by many a fancy. Mohajala samavritaha. Mohajala, the net of delusion. Moham is delusion. Mohajala means Maya Jalam, we've seen, right? Like that. Mohajala, Samavritaha. That is, Avrita means surrounding. Samavrita means uniformly surrounding, encircled by the net of delusion. Prasakta kama bhogeshu. Sakta means attached. Prasakta means greatly attached. Asakta, greatly attached. Kama bhogeshu. Kama is lust, Bhogeshu is enjoyment or gratification of lust. So they're greatly addicted to the gratification of lust. Patanti narakeshu chau. Patanti means they fall. And where do they fall? Ashuchau narake. Into the shuchau means pure. Ashuchau means impure. They fall into the foul hell. So this is the lot of these people who have these thought patterns. Um, Swamiji says they say money can buy a house, but what they don't know is it cannot buy a home. Money can buy a bed, but they don't know money cannot buy sleep. Like this, in fact, money can buy many things, but all the important things in life, like peace, knowledge, love, all these things, Swamiji says money cannot buy. But for everything else, there's an advertisement, right? There's MasterCard, but there are some things money can buy. Um, but these people do not understand that that is what is called moha or moha jala samavata. This is the delusion. They think money can buy everything. So in Krishna, he gets mad at them at this point. He says, Ashat, look at the words he's using. In this chapter, I told you long before, right? At some point, Krishna gets really uses very strong language in the Bhagavad Gita. This is the portion. You will see this here and in the beginning of the 17th chapter. Bhagavan uses very strong language. See, and he'll say he'll cast them into demonic wombs. He will throw them there. This is so Krishna gets quite mad at these people, and he says, "Ashachu narake patanti." They fall into a foul hell. And Krishna also he hints animals are the only living beings which have only two purusharthas. So there are four purusharthas, right? Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha. Animals have only Artha. Artha means that security and well-being. Artha also means wealth, but here it's security, well-being. So Artha and Kama. Kama is basically enjoyment. So Artha and Kama is what animals have. After all, animals work for their own security, right? They want to be comfortable. So the real word of Artha is security. So by gaining wealth, you have security. So Artha has a connotation of wealth, but it means security. Okay. Animals work for enjoyment. Animals don't know what is dharma. Animals don't know what is moksha. So these people are no better than animals by the way they are acting. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Atmasambhavita stabdaha dhanamanamadhanvitaha yajante nama yajnaiste dhamba dhambena vidipurvakam atmasambhavitaha. So this Krishna says that when a materialistic, so the Krishna is describing the materialistic person. When a materialistic person grows in money and power, chances are that this person becomes more and more desensitized, and he does not bother about the behavior, his or her conduct, their manners, their language. So Bhagavan is describing all that. What happens when they become so materialistic and go in wealth? Atma sambhavitaha, they become sambhava means news or incident. So Atma sambhavitaha means it is basically self-conceit. They want they want themselves to be the limelight, the center. Everybody to talk about sambhavam of them. Atma sambhavitaha, self-conceit. Stabdaha, arrogant. Dhanamana mada anvita, pride and intoxication due to dhana, wealth. Mana means pride. Mada means just like madness, intoxication here. So mana and mada, pride and intoxication. Anvita, um, it is means filled with pride and intoxication due to wealth. Yajante nama yajnaiste. Yajante, they worship. Nama yajnaiste, through namesake yajnas. So Bhagavan has been talking about yajna, 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 right? because in those days they did a lot of yajnas. They followed the Vedas, and they did this to get benefits while also supporting the world at large. So when they did a great yajna, they offered um, things to the poor and the needy. They donated a lot of food, they cooked. So, and also they chanted so that they can get the benefit. Their house can become purified, or whatever they wanted. Some people wanted to go to the heaven. So they, when the later ages, they did this yajna so they can go to heaven. So those days they did a yajna, which is why Bhagavan keeps talking about yajnas. They did a lot of yajnas. Dhambena vidhi purvakam. So they, with ostentation, dhamba, with ostentation, they yajne, yajante nama yajnaiste dhambena. So through, they ostentatiously worship through namesake yajnas, avidhi purvakam. So disregarding scriptural ordinances. Avidhi purvakam, scriptural ordinances disregard. Vidhi purvakam means following the scriptural ordinances. Vidhi purvakam means disregarding scriptural ordinances. Bhagavan then continues. So he's just going non-stop about these people, Asuric people. Aham karam balam darpam kamam krodam cha samshritah mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantopyasuyakah. Ahankaram, given to egoism, bhalam, power, dharpam, arrogance, kamam, krodam, lust and anger, cha samshrita, means samshrita literally means taking refuge. So, or given to, you can use. So given to egoism, power, arrogance, lust and anger, mamatma paradeheshu pradvishantopyasuyaka. Abhyasuyaka, these are slanderers. They just slander God. They say, God, what God? God, if God is there, he's seeing all the, or he or she is seeing all the suffering of people. What kind of a useless person that is? That's how they slander. So, and they say there's nothing called God. It's just, um, so they slander the concept of God. Abhyasuyaka. Mamatma, they hate me. Um, um, they hate me in their own bodies. Mamatma means in their own bodies. Or Mam Atma means me in their own bodies. Mam is me, Atma in themselves, Atma, and in others, Paradeheshu, in the bodies of others. Pradvishantaha means they hate. Abhyasuyaka, these slanderers. So these slanderers hate me in their own bodies and in those of others. So they just hate everything because they don't have respect of scriptures. So that's why when the way they treat themselves, some of them, they just push themselves so hard. Okay, my body is pain. I worked out so hard to get these muscles. My body is in pain. That's great. So they torture themselves. The 17th chapter, Bhagavan is going to say, Asuri tapas. I mean, very wrong kind of tapas, how they do. So they hate me in their own bodies and in those of others, because Bhagavan is there in all the bodies, but they hate. That is why Hiranya Kashipu, Swamiji said, he said, don't say Om Namo Narayana to Prahalad. So, and he starts to, so Mam Pradvishant, they begin to hate me. And where am I? Atma Paradeheshu. I am the very life and everyone, including that own person. I am there occupying that person's own body, and I am in every being's body. And that Lord Pradvishantaha, this person begins to hate that Bhagavan. Okay. Now, next, Bhagavan is going to tell what he's going to do with these slanderers, the people who slander and hate Bhagavan, the fall of the Asuras. You can see Narsimha Avatara destroying Hiranyakashipu. So this is it. exact definition of Hiranyakashipu, the Rakshasa, the father of Prahlada. So these two shlokas have to be chanted together. Tanaham tvishata kruran samsareshu naradhaman shipam yajastramashubhan asurishyeva yonishu asurim yonimapannakha मूढ़ा जन्मनि जन्मनि माम प्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यगमां गतिम्. So Bhagavan says, so he's using very strong language here. I told you, right? Tan, those, aham, I, dvishatakru, those cruel, dvishatakruran. So this cruel hater, dvisha, hate, kruran, cruel haters of me. And what's he going to do? I shipami. So I hurl them. I hurl those cruel haters. Samsareshu. What kind of haters are those? Samsareshu, nara, adama means low. The lowliest among humans in the society. Samsareshu, lowliest among human beings. Shipami, I hurl them. Ajasram ashubam. Ajasra means forever, perpetually. Where does he hurl them? Ashubam asurish eva yonishu. The the Ashubam, the impious ones. Where do they hurl? Shipami asurish eva yonishu. I hurl them into yoni means womb. Into asurim yonim means demonic wombs. So perpetually for a life of samsara, samsareshu. Perpetually I hurl them. Ajasram, I hurl them perpetually again and again till they improve. I hurl them into asuric wombs for a life of samsara. Okay, and then what happens? It doesn't end there. Asurim yonima pannaha. So apanna means entering. So asurim yoni means the demonic, entering the demonic wombs. Muda janmani janmani. These deluded ones, birth after birth, they enter the asuric wombs. Asurim doesn't necessarily mean some monster being or something. It can be evil people, evil families. There's a certain energy associated with the evil family. Muda janmani janmani, birth after birth. Mama prapyaiva kaunteya. Mam prapya means reaching or obtaining. Aprapya, not without ever reaching me, O Kaunteya. Mam aprapyaiva, without ever reaching me. Tatho yantyadamham gatim. O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, they fall into a still. Tato yati, they yati means they here yanti means they fall. Adhamam gatim, even lower condition. Adhama means lower, gati is the condition or fate. So Krishna feels pity for these people, these materialistic asuric people. Once they get into a downward cycle, they get into a downward slide, they get into a vicious cycle, and getting out of that becomes extremely difficult, because when a person does not use the free will properly, when a person abuses the free will and takes to wrong action, two things happen. First thing is, wrong action itself will create a bad papam, right? It's a wrong action and creates a papam or a sin. Another thing is, every action a person does, it creates a vasana. Vasana is a tendency. It makes the person predisposed to more actions like this, creates a vasana, inclination in the mind, because the mind has the capacity to form addiction in whatever it does. So janmani, because karma is responsible for vasana, vasana is responsible for future karma, therefore they get into a vicious cycle. Karma and vasana. So janma after janma, they come down lower and lower. So Bhagavan says one should not fall into that trap. Then Bhagavan says, Trividam narakasyedham Varam nashanam atmanakha Kama krodhastatha lobha Tasmadhyetatrayam tyajet. Bhagavan says, he gives a short way how to avoid the gateway to hell, how to avoid going down into future births. Trividam, trifold, Narakasya idam dwaram is this gateway to hell. Narakasya, Narakam is the hell. Idam dwaram, the gateway. And what are those? Nashan, and it Nashanam Atmanaha, it's destructive of the self. And these three are Kamaha, lust, Krodaha, anger, and Lobaha, greed. Therefore, one should abandon this. Tasmad, Etat Trayam, Tyajet. Tyajet means give up, abandon these three. And if you remember, Bhagavan has said something very simple, similar in the third chapter, 37th shloka. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapma Viddena Miha Vairinam. This kama and this lust and this anger, which Rajoguna Samudbhavaha, which are born out of Rajoguna, the Rajas, the passion guna in us, Mahashano Mahapapma, Maha Ashana, it's like burning and it's great sin. With Enamiha Vairinam, know this to be the biggest cause of problem. So Bhagavan has told that earlier. Now he adds greed also here. Okay, he enumerates Kama and Krodha. He says they are born out of Rajoguna, and grammatically, if you see, in that he says Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Samudbhavaha means arising out of. Samudbhavaha means all these are arising out of, singular and plural. He just says Kama and Krodha, he's using this as singular. This Kama and Krodha. You don't say these Kama and Krodha. It says this Kama and Krodha. And why is that? Because Kama, the lust, when it's not fulfilled, will result in anger. So there are a lot of these subtle things. So Vyasa is specifically using singular here because this lust and anger, they go together. Okay. Now we are coming to the last. Any questions so far? We've finished Asuri Sampat. We finished first in 3 shlokas, Bhagavan. So if you see beginning, Bhagavan,
Can you repeat one more time, Ganeshi, with the singularity and
yes,
also, you were
yeah.
mentioning
Let
Labha.
me go to that shloka, chapter 3. Go to chapter 3. So what there are a lot of these subtle points throughout the Gita, and Swamiji mentions that. So Shankaracharya also talks about that. Okay, 7th shloka. This kama esha, this lust, this anger, rajoguna samudbhavaha. So it is samudbhavaha. This is which is born. So it's difficult to exactly translate it in English. You can just think of it as this lust and anger. You can just say born out of samudbhavaha, which is born out of this lust, this anger, which is born out of out of rajoguna. If you say like that, that means he's lumping lust and anger together. Samudbhavaha means the is born. These are born it's samudbhavaha. So grammatically, it looks like it is wrong, but there's a reason Vyasacharya has done that, because he wants to show that those two are one and the same. Unfulfilled lust creates anger. Okay, so now we are coming to the last portion of this chapter. How do you not fall into the Asuri Sampat? What is your guideline of what you need to do? And there Bhagavan says that is the Shastram or scriptural study. Okay, so importance of Shastram or scriptural study. Yetair kaunteya thamotvaraistribirnaraha acharatyatmanak shreyakha tato yati param gatim. Okay, so Krishna here says, Yetair vimukta kaunteya naraha, the person who is liberated from these Thamodvarai Tribir Naraha, who is liberated from these threefold gates to the darkness. Acharati, practices Atmanah Shreyaha. Acharatyatmanah Shreyaha, practices what is good for them. He doesn't say, Bhagavan very carefully, he here doesn't say how to do that, but he just says how to accomplish. He doesn't say, he just says this person practices what is good for them, and that it's implied. He gets it from the Shastra, because it's going to stay in the next shloka. Tato yati param gatim, and that person attains the supreme goal. So Bhagavan does not say how to accomplish this conversion. Bhagavan only says you have to change from Asuri Sampat to Daivi Sampat. He does not say how to do that. The religious way of life prescribed in the scriptures of the Sanatana Dharma is meant for that. That he will say in the next shloka. Person of Daivi Sampat also has desires, but the desires are higher. I want a strong desire for higher understanding, so I live life with ease. This is the desire of a Daivi Sampat person, not get more money and have more power. Once the sincere desire is nourished more and more, Bhagavan tells that it is my responsibility to provide that person with a proper guru. And in Swamiji's words, therefore, Tata means what? Before long, this person will get Chitta Shuddhi. Once Chitta Shuddhi is there, that person will have Guru Prapti, then Shravana Prapti, because this Guru cannot give moksha, right, by touching. So it cannot give enlightenment by like instantaneous enlightenment. No. So Shravanam means consistent systematic study of Vedantic scriptures for a length of time under the guidance of a competent acharya. Tatho param gatim yanti. So this person will very, very smoothly land in moksha even before this person knows. He discovers Aham Brahmasmi. So Swamiji says. Okay. Now, so now Bhagavan says what happens to the person who doesn't read the scriptures. So here is now implying. So in the previous shloka, acharati acharatyatmanah shreyaha. This person practices what is good for them. Atmanah shreya means shreya, good. Atmanah for that own person, but doesn't say. But now he is saying what the person who does not follow the scriptures. So it's implied in the previous one. The good person is studying the scriptures. Okay, it's all poetry. He doesn't want to repeat, so it's implied. Yakshastra vidim utsrujya vartate kamakaratah nasasiddhimavapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Yaha Shastra Vidim Utsrujya means having cast aside. Utsrujya, cast aside. Shastra Vidim means the scriptural ordinances. Shastram is scripture, Vidim means ordinance. So one who having cast aside the ordinances of the scriptures, Vartate Kamakarataha. Kamakarataha. Vartate acts from the impulse of desires. Kama is desire or lust. Karataha, the impulse, acts under the impulse of desires. Nasa siddhimavapnoti. That person does not attain perfection. Siddhim, siddhi is perfection. Avap does not attain, avapnoti, attain perfection. Na sukham, nor happiness. Na param gatim, nor the highest goal. So Bhagavan previously has talked about the person who's following the scriptural ordinances, that is, doing practices what is good for them. Now he's talking about one on the who does not change the direction of life, who is giving a statutory warning. Krishna says is doing exactly the same thing. The best thing is to follow the scriptural injunctions. If you do not follow, statutory warning he's giving. Krishna is making another startling statement. Not only will this person not get happiness in life, these really speaking, these materialist people in due course even lose the capacity to enjoy worldly pleasures. So the person does not get happiness. So the nature of worldly pleasures are such that they will be appealing and attractive for a short period of time, and thereafter this person will be incapable of even enjoying Vishaya Sukham. Therefore Krishna says Na Sukham, because he or she will take to overindulgence and will lose the health and the mind and everything. In the last shloka, Bhagavan very clearly here he says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavastitau Nyatva Shastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartumiharhasi. Therefore, let Tasma Shastram Pramanam. Pramanam means authority. Let the scriptures be your authority in determining what? Karya Karya Vyavastitau. What has to be done? Karya. Akarya. What should not be done? Vyavastitau. In determining what ought to be done and what ought not to be done. Nyatva Shastra Vidan Oktam Karma Kartum Iharhasi. Having known what is said, Shastra Vidanoktam, what is said in the ordinances of the scriptures, you should act here. Karma Kartum Iha here, Arhasi, you should act here. So Krishna tells how to change yourself from Asuri Rakshasi Sampat to Daivi Sampat, and then pursue Vedanta Jnanam and Moksha. Okay. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yogo Nama Shodashodhyayah. Recording.